All right, let's get started. But you know what? We're gonna do something a little bit different. I know we've got the hurry up types that just wanted to see the S&P 500, but we're not gonna do that first today. We're doing something different. So we're gonna look at silver and gold. Look at silver here, all-time high, 34.48. Yes, this is the buzz of the day. The last few days has been the precious metals, all-time highs here on silver, and we're gonna see that gold did the same thing today. But gold's had a kind of a little bit of a pullback here this afternoon, but nevertheless, all-time highs. For my members, I put a link on the Discord server talking about China. I guess kind of secretly is acquiring silver. They're not doing it on the open market. They are making private contract deals with silver mines in various places around the world. Perhaps like one or two nations in Africa, South America, wherever silver is being mined. They're making private contracts with them and they're just hogging up all the silver ore, okay, and then refining it in China. So they're not even purchasing it on the open market. So it's not directly impacting the futures prices and or spot price. That's a problem. That's a huge problem because I think what's going to happen eventually is if this continues, there's going to be a massive shortage, and I think the precious metals are going to spike even harder. Now, that may not happen tomorrow, but if China keeps doing what they're doing, this is going to be a huge issue on precious metals, especially silver. So why in silver, as I said before, you got to understand this. Silver is both a precious metal in regards to like a hedge against inflation, right? But also it's an industrial metal. It's both. Whereas gold is primarily an investor / hedge type of precious metal. It is used a little bit, gold, in industry, but not nearly to the same level as silver. So why is China grabbing up all the silver? Well, there could be a multitude of reasons, but look at that link for the members. Make sure you get the link. It's in the. Let's see what channel is that in. I can't remember what channel it's in. It's not the S&P 500 channel. It is like a general chat or something. Not general chat, but the main chat channel. But you should watch that video. It's really, really good. And one of the reasons why China is grabbing up all the silver is because they need it to make solar panels. That's right. Silver is used to make solar panels. So, of course, China is on a huge push to use solar throughout their nation in addition to nuclear. So, and of course, China is one of the biggest producers of solar panels in the world. So they are hogging all the silver, or lots of it. I think it's a ticking time bomb. It's just going to be a matter of time before silver potentially becomes difficult to find or becomes harder to mine because there's less of it in the world. That's going to drive silver up to potentially make a disconnect or disassociation like with gold. Usually they track together, but that may not always be the case. So anyways, right now, I think what's happening right now, gold and silver are reflecting the true economy in the world, in the United States. And that is the economy is bad, like really bad. And it's been going on for a long time. And guess what? The Federal Reserve's lending rate cut didn't do anything, did it? Silver and gold's still going ballistic. I mean, there's nothing that the lending rate's going to do to save the United States from its $35 trillion in national debt. It certainly isn't going to stop China from hogging up silver. So the Federal Reserve is a joke, guys. They're as corrupt gets, and they shot their little bullet there for a lending rate, thinking they're going to save the world, and that didn't do anything. And when if they do another lending rate cut, it isn't going to do anything again. So that's silver. There is a low here, October 31st. We'll see what happens right now. That's about 10 days away. It may ignore it. It may actually ignore that. It could come down here a little bit and then go even higher. I mean, my goodness. Silver's looking ooge. I think precious metals could cool off a little bit if Trump gets into the White House. If Kamala T gets in the White House, you can expect precious metals, silver and gold, to go absolutely ballistic. They're going to take off even higher. Let's check out gold. Same thing here, gold. All-time high today, 2755. I just said the other day when it was right back over here at 2700, I said I see 2800 as very doable. And here today is 2755. Okay? Yeah, it looks like it's maybe do that. But look at this big dip in the SMI, and yet gold here only really fell like about 75 points, and it went right back up. So this big old dip didn't mean anything. Okay? In fact, now that I'm looking at this, I'm going to relook at these cycles, as I'm not convinced that these cycles are right. Let me look here. Yeah, this cycle's better. This is a better cycle right here. And I've been watching that cycle. There may be another cycle in here, like kind of like here maybe. There may be that kind of cycle. There's a possibility of two cycles going on here. Let me just see. Let me get the main cycle a color so I'm not confusing the two. Let me look at this red one for a second. I'm not sure it makes sense. Okay, actually I did the wrong one here. Let's make this one green and do the red one yellow, not because yellow is kind of my primary color for cycles. Let's do that. Let me look at the cycles here for yellow so that just make sure I'm good. This looks pretty good here. Yeah, the yellow cycle is really good. And even over here, it's kind of okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles look pretty good. Let me check out the green one real quick. Just kind of okay there. Yes, yes, no, no. Okay, it's kind of garbagey, so we're going to get rid of it. So I think that's the true cycle there. This cycle seems to be more accurate. So where does that put us? Way out November 17th, okay? Just past the election, which is a common date for a lot of the indices too. So we'll make this November 17th. I think that's correct. All right, so if that's the case, which I believe it is, looks pretty good to me. This has a ways to go, right? This was a very bullish cycle. This one was bullish. This one over here, which kind of ended somewhere in this area and then started there, also bullish. Look at this. This is hot. Gold is on fire. And if it gets past the middle of this cycle, which is approximately 1029, which is about 8 days from now, if it gets past that, either leveling off or going a little higher, that would be still bullish. If it drops right now and gets below this, whatever that is, 2618, then we got a different story. Okay, so that would be looking for that. But for right now, this looks extremely bullish. Look at this, crossing over here, re-engaging, wants to go higher. Yeah, precious metals, guys and gals, they're on fire. For now, I don't see them cooling off. Okay, let's look at the S&P 500. Still extremely bullish. Here also bullish, crazy bullish. Little dip doesn't mean anything in SMI. This is tracking sideways. October 29th, 8 days away. November 13th, I'm just not seeing it. There's just nothing here so far that's telling me this. Okay, it could break late, and that is common. Like it could break like the first week of November and just have like a week and a half of pulling back. It could do one of these, which is like 2-3 weeks. So about 2.5 weeks of pullback. So November 13th, yeah, like the very, very, very end of October, like the October 29th or 30th, maybe start to see a pullback happen. But right now, this still looks on fire. No reason to think otherwise. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Oops. Look at the cash here, not the futures. Wow, what a hot mess these cycles are, huh? A hot mess. Somebody texted me. Yeah, October 16th, which came and went. That was it. Little dippy do, nothing. Right back at it. Tracking sideways here, trying to go up. Looks like it's trying to re-engage and go up. Let me tell you something right now. If that's the SMI low and it re-engages, which that's what it looks like it's going to do, this is going to be super bullish and take off, and then maybe pull back like that. Okay, but if this thing, which hasn't crossed over yet, but if it does, this SMI and does that and gets up to this red line, forget about it. That is super bullish. Okay, so right now, again, everything looks bullish. Russell 2000. Okay, a bit of a pullback going on here for the Russell 2000. Big pullback day. Okay, so that's unlike the rest of the indices. It's has given some back. One of my members put a post on Discord server about a bunch of banks are at risk of defaulting. Yeah. I've been saying it. If you're in cash, you're holding the wrong thing. Yeah, we need some cash, but if you're holding a lot of cash, that is bad. Cash is bad. It's only paper, guys and gals. Don't forget it. The U.S. currency, literally, the paper currency, the greenback, it's just paper. That's all it is. It's just freaking paper. It's fiat garbage. It isn't gold or silver that historically is going to trade and you can barter with, right? It isn't real estate property that you own, real property. They call it real estate, but yeah, think about it. It's real estate. It's real property. You own it. It's a hard asset. Okay, cash is not that. You can wipe your butt with it. That's where cash is headed, because it isn't worth the paper it's printed on. And remember what I said. I'm not talking about, oh, we're going to go digital currency or we need to go altcoin, all that stuff, or crypto. That may happen, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you that paper dollar, which historically a lot of faith was put into it, it's garbage. It's utter, complete junk. It's not worth the paper it's printed on. I firmly believe that. So you want to be in real estate, own 2 or 3 homes, because guess what? People are always going to need a place to live, and they're going to have to pay to live there. Okay, or in addition to that, when I say own, I mean you have the deed in your hand, the loan's paid off. Okay, and in addition to that, gold and silver. Yeah, the U.S. government says, hand over all your gold and silver like back in the 1930s. Yeah, good luck with that. Sure. We'll get right on that. Sure, we'll obey the law. I wouldn't suggest that you shouldn't obey the law. We're here to get your gold. What gold? I don't possess any gold. I don't possess any silver. I don't have anything. Nope, there's no gold or silver here. We're pretty sure you got it. Well, you can look. Well, look, I guess you couldn't find it. I didn't lie. I'm not in possession of gold and silver. Seriously, that's my response. That's all I'll say about that. Yeah, U.S. government, my backside. Like our DOJ and FBI, most trustworthy agents in the history of the United States of America. Bullshit. A little scratch. I had a little cough there. Yeah. Right along with the IRS. And the ATF. Yeah. Our buddies at the ATF who intentionally set people up. What do you call that? Entrapments. ATF are good at entrapments. It's like one of the main things they do. Let's look at the let's look at the Nike 225. Yeah, kind of a slight downward bias, but you know what? This is still super bullish. Look at this. This is pretty decently bullish. And look at this. SMI is almost down to this line, and so far it's barely pulled back. That is super bullish. Though it's shown some weakness, it still has a bullish feel to it, right? It is pulling back here a little bit, but it's more like chopping sideways and slowly declining. So that's not a sign of like of strong weakness, right? That's a sign of like barely getting weak. It's got to do a lot more than that for us to be convinced that there's going to be a pullback. Okay, Japanese yen. This has been getting hammered. Still hasn't found the bottom. Absolutely amazing. This thing still has not found the bottom. Jeez, look at this. Down here, I said if it doesn't get up and do one of these, this is going to take over. It has taken over. I'll tell you what I think right now is, it just amazes me that it was so bullish for so long and then it absolutely colunkified. Like that word, colunkified. If it gets up here and does a little bouncy bounce like that and does one of those deals like right there, oh, you want to short it. Because this is a really bad look for the Japanese yen. I'm just like amazed how big of a turn this thing has taken. Okay, we're going to look at the euro dollar. Same thing. Getting crushed. Absolutely crushed. Right down to October 20th, which was yesterday. That was a cycle low. Looks like it's trying to find a bottom, but it looks just as bad as the Japanese yen. They're both like in lockstep here. Same thing here. If it does just one of these little bouncy bounces, short it. This is like majorly negative. Huge. At some point here in the near future, I'll have to look at the weekly charts and see what's going on there, but we're not going to do it today. Because that's starting to look pretty bad. British pound. Bad. Boy, same thing here. Bad. In fact, I think the British pound right now could be shorted. Look at this, October 14th. Yeah, right in here is your low. And I don't think it's going to recover. It might do something here. I think there's more in this. I don't think it's done. A small micro maybe on the British pound, M6B might be a way to go. Small position. All right, let's take a look at we looked at gold, crude oil. Crude oil. It too has not found a bottom. And I said the other day, it looks like it's getting ready to cross over. Give it another day tomorrow, and it's going to officially cross over into negative territory. So this is not good. Up, bang, failed. It hasn't gotten below this yet. 66 1/3. I said it's going to get down to the 60s. Today it did. There we are. The low today, actually even Friday, was 68.17. Today's low was 68.46. I don't think this is done. I think we're going to potentially get down into a little bit lower. I'm just kind of looking at this scenario right here. You see this right here? It crossed over way up here though. Different crossover. I'm just kind of looking at this. There's some similarities here. Bounce and then fail. Yeah. So we might see that. Bounce, fail. Bounce, fail. I think that's where this is headed. So we might get that. Boom, 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 like a stair step, like kind of like you see over here. Okay, it may not be exactly like that, but that's the feeling I'm getting. Okay, that it's going to do something like that. So we might get a bounce back up to 74 here, maybe even 76, then down, bounce to 72, 74, then down, back down to 66, 64, something like this. So we might be getting that kind of stuff going on. I think I see crude oil stair stepping down. It's probably the most likely scenario there. Down into the mid to low 60s probably. Okay, let's look at, so you cover gold, silver, crude oil. We're gonna look at corn. Looks like corn may have found a bottom here. It's trying. Will it stay positive territory? We're talking about that line right there. Will it stay positive? That's the big if. It might do it. You know, over here it tried and it failed. Failed huge. So it's got a lot of work to do to rebound. It's trying, but it's going to have to work super hard to keep this from going negative. Okay, so corn even though there's a bounce going on here, looks like it's in trouble to me. It's going to have to prove that it can get this momentum turned around, which so far it's not clear it's going to be able to do that. Okay, let's look at XLP, Consumer Staples ETF. Yeah, smack down. I talked about this, that I thought the damage was significant enough to where it was going to have a hard time pressing higher, and that this candlestick looked like had that ominous, it's peaked, and that sure enough, that was it. That little kind of evening star looking candlestick, that's usually a sign that you're going to see something pull back, and it has pulled back. We're heading that way. What do I think? October 20th. I think you can short this. So this would be options probably. I think you can short this. You want to sell some puts or buy puts or whatever. Sorry, yeah, buy puts. Okay, short calls, I guess. Whatever you options traders do, I think that's what's going to happen here. Price is going to decline a little bit more here. Become a member, $7.99 a month, $7.99 a month. That's just crazy. That is very inexpensive. Let's look at one more thing on the S&P 500. I want to show you the daily cycles today. Why should you pay for $7.99 a month? Well, I'm going to show you why. There is the cycle I drew for today. Boom, boom, boom. I said there might be a cycle at 5 a.m. Look at this. It happened at 6. There's your 5. Yeah. How good is that? Look at this. This is your cycle low projected. We come up, it gets halfway, start looking for opportunity. Bam. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for cycle analysis that is absolutely banging. Okay, this is what cycle analysis is. This is just part of what happens with this membership. Okay, you want to know timing? Cycles help you with timing and direction. That's what the service does. Is it always absolutely perfect and make you $1 million tomorrow? No. Are the cycles very valuable? Yeah, and once you learn how to use them to your advantage, okay, maybe 6 out of 10 trades are going to be profitable. Yeah, I said it, 6 out of 10. You got all these. Let me tell you something. I got people saying that will say like the cycles don't work, or the agents have services on their Discord servers for 99 cents, all this kind of stuff that people talk about. Okay. And most people, a lot of people, are looking for the utopia service. Yeah, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a service it's utopia. Its name is even utopia. It's utopia service. Why? Because in that service, everything is perfect. It gets you everything you ever wanted. It gets you your exact price entry. It tells you how long to hold that position. It tells you exactly what price to exit on. It tells you, what direction to be trading in, long or short. Oh, it's the utopia service, man. It's like, it's the butter. Okay? And everybody's looking for this service, and they bounce around from service to service looking for that utopia service. And they're mad when they can't find it. Ding, 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 ding. A little bell should be going off right about now. It doesn't exist. It absolutely doesn't exist. There are no charts that's going to get you perfectly traded every time. It doesn't freaking exist. There are companies spending hundreds of millions of dollars every year doing analysis, and they don't get every trade right. These people are 20, 30-year veterans, writing some of the most sophisticated software in the world, and they still don't get every trade right. And yet you want a utopia service that doesn't exist. Keep looking. Good luck. I'm being honest. All these people looking for the perfect service, jumping around from service to service. They ain't never going to find it. Okay? That's why I said, if you're getting 6 out of 10 trades, you're doing good. You're probably beating 99% or 99 out of 10 people out there. Most people lose money, by the way. Okay? Do I think the service provides value for $7.99? You bet I do. Look, the cycle today proved it. Okay, so stop jerking around. You want to go pay the 99 cents for Asian Discord servers? If you honestly believe you can get value out of that, don't let me stop you. Go for it. I hope you make $1 million tomorrow. But the chances of that happen are probably zero, almost nil. That's why they're charging 99 cents. Because their service sucks. Okay, so join $7.99. Get the nightly emails 4 nights a week. You have streaming charts for the S&P 500 and gold in this service. You have alerts on the Discord server. So if you want to get alerts for gold or for silver, you can do that. You just right click that product in the Discord server and turn notifications on. Okay, that's what I do. All right. All right, the only thing I didn't show today, and we're going to do it right now, is we're going to finish up with this, the trade of the day. Okay, forgot about the trade of the day. So this is another thing that happens. If I have people that, one person said to me a few days ago on I think it was on YouTube. They said, oh, if somebody traded every one of those Giddus Plus indicators, they would only be 30% successful. And that just told me right away, I'm not trying to beat up on this person. I just don't think they understood. It told me right away they didn't understand the service. Every video I say the same thing. You have to look at multiple time frames, but people ignore it. They ignore that. That is like the most important thing but no one listens to it. They just look at their one chart. And I come here and I do the trade of the day, and then they look at all these purple, they look at this one, 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 they look at these. And said, if I traded all these, I'd be losing money. I never said trade all of them. And I never said just look at the 5-minute chart. It's amazing. I put these videos out every day and people just don't pay attention. Well, that's on you. That's got nothing to do with me. If the service isn't bad, you're not paying attention. Okay, is there a trade here? Guess what? I'm going to go look at the 15-minute chart because I'm going to look at multiple time frames. That's what you should be doing during the day. Okay, look at this one right here. Look at this. You tell me that's not a good short side trade? Of course it is. It's huge. There's only one of these on the entire day for the 15-minute chart. If you're not up on Sunday night at midnight, well, that's not my fault. You're sleeping, right? Well, are you a trader or not? What do you want, the service to slap you upside your head and wake you up in the middle of the night and wipe your fanny too? Make the trades for you? I mean, give me a break, you know? People are lazy. That's what it comes down to. People are lazy. You know what people want, guys? Now I'm going to be super honest. They want one button. Here's a button. This is a button. They want to click this button and everything happens for them automatically. Then over here, they have another button and they click it again and everything's done. That's the simple-minded people of the world. Click one, click two, you're done. Trading is not like that. There is no click 1, 2, you're done. You have to put effort into it. You have to do analysis. You have to look at multiple time frames. If you don't study, don't expect to get the reward. So there's the trade of the day right there in the 15-minute chart. Happened last night. Huge money. On the 5-minute chart, there's more than one opportunity here. So do you trade every single Giddus Plus candles alert? No. You have to know which ones to pick. You have to have a sense of the market. You do that by watching the market a lot. Okay, look at this one right here. How would you trade this? See, I should stop telling people, you know, how to do the trade and force people to figure it out for themselves. How would you trade that? Like, how would you know how to trade this? Would you trade it? Would you trade this one? Would you trade this one? Would you trade that one? There's a bunch of purple ones over here at the end of the day. Generally, near the end of the day, I kind of ignore them. Not always, but a lot of times I ignore them. Okay, would you trade this 5-minute chart at all? Or would you trade only the 15-minute chart? And we haven't even looked at the hourly chart, which you don't get a lot of alerts there, but we can look at it. We know there's a big fat alert there. Today was a big fat alert right here at 9 o'clock in the morning. Doesn't happen too often, but occasionally happens. Here's another one way back here, like a few days ago. Look at this alert. How would you trade that? See, I think that's what I need to start doing. I need to stop handing people freebies here on YouTube and on Rumble and wherever else I put up my content and make you think about it. I know how I would trade this. You can just pause the video right now, look at this chart, go get your own charting up, pull it up in your own software, do the 1-hour chart. Okay, right here. What's this time? This was 9 o'clock on October 16th. Pause the video. 9 o'clock, hourly chart, October 16th, 9 p.m. my time, anywhere here in Texas. Okay, so you have to figure out your own time frame. time zone. But you can figure it out. You're smart, right? Or are you not smart? Stress your brain a little bit. Okay, we're looking at futures here, the S&P 500 futures. How would you trade this? I mean, obviously you have hindsight now. You know it's going to go up. But how would you have traded it if you didn't see all this over here? Right? Like if you just stuck a piece of paper over the top of all this, well, how would you trade this right here? Right? Because this is a streaming chart. It's available to my members. You have to challenge yourself. You literally have to challenge yourself and think about these things. Like, would you trade this? And if you were to trade it, which way would you trade it? You have to decide about which direction. Did you trade it up or did you trade it down? You know, all this is gone, right? You don't get to see any of this. This is not there. What would you do? Okay, I know what I would do, but I'm not giving a freebie today. You want to learn how to become a great trader? Become a member. That's it. Talk to you all real soon again next time.